Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Ellen DeGeneres is canceled after insulting celebrities. Ellen DeGeneres has consistently remained one of the most successful daytime talk show hosts of the last decade, and she has never been more relevant. Ellen managed to create a talk show that has enraptured hundreds of thousands of Americans who sit down to watch her show every day. Not only is Ellen DeGeneres one of the best talk show hosts ever, but she's also a staunch supporter of LGBT rights. Being a lesbian woman herself, Ellen DeGeneres has never hidden her truth from the public, and she came out to the world as a lesbian in 1997 in an episode of her sitcom, Ellen. Ellen never let homophobia stop her. She married her longtime girlfriend, Portia de Rossi, and the two are still together. Her talk show and her activism for the LGBT community is not the only thing Ellen DeGeneres is known for. You may also know her as the voice of Dory in one of the most famous Disney movies of all time, Finding Nemo. She was also in the hit comedy Coneheads. She originally got her start in stand-up comedy, although she has essentially retired from the field. Ellen spends most of her time focusing on her talk show, in which she usually interviews famous celebrities. Ellen is most well known for playing games and scaring her guests on live TV. For years, Ellen has been one of the most well-liked celebrities in pop culture, but gradually that tide shifted as more and more fans canceled Ellen after multiple rude interviews and outright insults to some of their favorite celebrities. Today, we're going to be going through instances of why Ellen is canceled after insulting celebrities. Number 1. Dakota Johnson. One of the first and most well-known controversies Ellen DeGeneres has gotten herself entangled in was her spat with Suspiria actor Dakota Johnson. Dakota Johnson has made an appearance on The Ellen Show in November of 2019 in order to promote her movie. But the interview ended up going far worse than anyone could have possibly thought. What unfolded in the next 15 minutes made for some of the most awkward interviews on TV. It was like a train wreck in slow motion that neither party was particularly keen on stopping. The interview opened as most interviews normally did on Ellen's show, with a brief intro and a couple of softball questions designed to warm up the guest to the audience in the studio. However, it wasn't long before Ellen DeGeneres decided to throw herself directly into drama. She then asked Johnson why she had not been invited to the guest's 30th birthday party, which had taken place that past October, saying, "How was the party? I wasn't invited." Dakota Johnson seemed stunned at first, as it was a very odd question to ask on a talk show, especially in front of millions of viewers. Johnson quickly fired back, calmly stating, "Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited." Her initial denial of Ellen's premise and setup left the interviewer noticeably tenser and created an awkward situation in the room. The two continued to go back and forth on the topic, and the energy in the room was noticeably tense. Despite the fact that both Ellen and Johnson were pretending that the entire conversation was a joke, the exchange between the two was very tense, and both participants were displaying a lot of passive aggressiveness when they were talking to one another. It continued until it came to a head. "I did invite you and you didn't come," Johnson told DeGeneres, adding that she could ask everyone to confirm. "Ask her producer Jonathan," she continued. Someone off the set shouted to confirm that she had been invited, but that DeGeneres was out of town. This put Ellen in a very bad spot because although she had been pretending to only be joking, her insistence on the bit and her odd passive-aggressive comments made it seem like DeGeneres had just wanted to stir up some drama with the Suspiria actor. The whole exchange left many fans feeling odd about the entire thing, and the interview soon racked up millions of views on its own on Ellen's official YouTube channel. Twitter had a field day with the awkward interview, and many people came out to defend Dakota against Ellen's weirdly aggressive questioning. After the whole ordeal was over, Ellen came out of it significantly worse for the wear. It made her look completely unprofessional and petty, and it wasn't something that the internet quickly forgot. Number 2, Nikki Tutorials. Another guest who had quite the unwelcoming experience while on Ellen's show was a makeup artist and YouTuber Nikki Tutorials. Over the last couple of years, Nikki has grown her makeup channel from 1,000 subscribers to millions of subscribers. Her newfound fame has elevated her to an almost celebrity-like status. The most significant thing that changed in her life recently was her decision to come out as transgender to her YouTube audience. And while there was some pushback at first, most of the fans accepted and even encouraged Nikki in pursuing whatever made her happy. In January of 2020, Nikki appeared on The Ellen Show in order to talk about her videos and her viral coming out video. The show went very smoothly, and it was refreshing to see Ellen DeGeneres talk to a guest who was also a member of the LGBT community and could give a different perspective on the issues that the community was facing in the modern era. Later that year, she appeared on a talk show in the Netherlands called De Wereld Draait Door, where she gave more info on exactly what unfolded behind the scenes of The Ellen Show. Unfortunately, Nikki's experience with Ellen was far from fantastic, and she came away from the interview with a sour taste in her mouth. When describing exactly what went wrong, Nikki said that the uncomfortable treatment from Ellen started the moment she arrived at the studio where the interview would be filmed. Nikki arrived at the studio and was shown the green room where she would get ready. When asked by the Dutch interviewer what the experience before the show was like, Nikki simply said, "It's really nice that you came over and said hello to me." She didn't. While this is not a career-ending move, it does show just how careless and uncaring Ellen DeGeneres comes off when she's not on camera or on Twitter. Nikki went on to say that being on Ellen's show felt like a whole different world and that it's more distant. She admitted that it was a huge honor to be on a show as successful and as big as Ellen's, but the cold shoulder given to her by the usually chipper host put her off guard. A transgender YouTuber like Nikki Tutorials appearing on The Ellen Show is a big deal, as transgender individuals are not often given a spotlight like that. However, Ellen's rude treatment of her guests seems to have no exceptions, and Nikki, unfortunately, got a dose of it at the wrong time. Number 3, Hasan Minhaj. For a more recent example of Ellen's treatment of her guests, look no further than Hasan Minhaj's appearance on The Ellen Show in early 2019. Hasan Minhaj had made his rise to fame after his incredible success of the Patriot Act with Hasan Minhaj. Hasan Minhaj is also one of the most famous Indians in Hollywood, which is a big deal for him due to the lack of representation Indians receive in Hollywood, usually relegated to Bollywood productions. Immediately, the interview was off to a bad start. Ellen introduces Hasan Minhaj by mispronouncing his name, to which he says no. Instead of simply correcting herself, Ellen oddly pushes back, saying yes. He calmly pronounces it correctly, giving Ellen another chance to get it right. Disappointingly, Ellen mispronounces it again, possibly on purpose. He takes a moment to calmly explain to both Ellen and the audience that this is a big moment for him and he wants his name to be said correctly, as both of his parents are in attendance at the show. The camera pans to his parents, and once again, Ellen is given another chance to say it correctly. But once again, she falters. It was an incredibly embarrassing moment for the host, and it seemed like she deliberately wanted to make fun of Minhaj's exotic name by purposely mispronouncing it. As Minhaj later pointed out in the interview, white people usually have trouble pronouncing his name, but have no problem pronouncing odd white names like Cumberbatch or other weird names. Ellen's treatment of Hasan Minhaj while on her show is completely embarrassing and extremely unprofessional for someone like Ellen to behave. Number 4, Taylor Swift. Possibly the most high-profile yet rude interview that Ellen DeGeneres has done on The Ellen Show was one of her first interviews with pop star Taylor Swift. In 2013, Taylor Swift was still making pop country music and had not yet branched out into the full-fledged pop star that she is today. However, even if she was not as popular and well-known as the superstar that she is today, the Taylor Swift of 2013 was still an uber-successful musician who had many chart toppers under her belt at the time. Her initial moments with Ellen were par the norm, as the two talked about current events and what it was like for Swift to release music and go on tour. Things took a turn for the worse when Ellen decided to pull one of her many games. Unfortunately for Taylor Swift, this game was very demeaning and was meant to target her. As Ellen described, the game works like this. Images of popular male celebrities would flash on the screen. Taylor Swift had to ring a bell whenever a picture of a guy she has dated before shows up on the screen. This is a very odd and demeaning game and paints Taylor Swift as promiscuous, which was definitely not her image at the time of the interview. Obviously, Swift refused to play, but Ellen begins ringing the bell herself. This goes on for a couple moments until Taylor Swift cries out for her to stop ringing the bell because it only makes her feel bad while she's on the show. There was very little humor in the prank, and the whole game comes off as simply bullying. It was a terrible look for Ellen, and the audience came away from the interview thinking that she was completely cruel and heartless. So, which one of these reasons do you agree with the most? Do you know any other reasons why people don't like Ellen DeGeneres? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, be sure to click the bell icon to be notified for every time we post a video. Tell us what you thought about the videos, and if you have any suggestions, leave those as well. And until next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.